And a new strike force is now in place to help crack down on that violent crime in the city.
U.S. Attorney Robert Hur announced the force that's teaming up with other federal, state, and local partners.
WMAR 2 News' Skylar Henry is live in Federal Hill with how plans for this force came into play. Skylar.
Well, Mallory, as you just mentioned, violent crimes are peaking yet again here in the city. That's why Robert Hur, the U.S. attorney, wanted to get this strike force, as he's calling it, in place. Now, Baltimore is the 15th city in the nation to have a strike force like this, and officials say if it's worked in other cities, it might as well work here. It's the incessant shootings, murders, and other violent crimes local leaders say push them to this. A team made up of law enforcement's finest to put an end to the violence.
But the strike force will take that collaboration to a new level, enabling us to work faster, target strategically while simultaneously responding to developments on the street, and building bigger, more impactful cases through this all-star team of law enforcement.
U.S. Attorney Robert Hur, flanked by area law enforcement and leaders, says the Baltimore Organized Crime Drug Enforcement Task Force, or OCDF, is changing the way it keeps those in and around the city safe, identifying and arresting the most violent offenders and disrupting their financial setups.
Again and again, you see takedowns. You see investigations taking down 10, 20, 30 defendants, seizing significant numbers of guns, seizing kilogram quantities of drugs that are killing people.
Other cities, including New York City, Chicago, and even Houston, have implemented similar task forces. Hur says crime reduction has worked there, and it can here, playing right into Baltimore City Police Commissioner Michael Harrison's plan to stop shootings and other crimes.
It is exactly what we need. And if you look at the part where we talk about leveraging relationships with local, state, and federal partners, this is exactly a demonstration now of what that plan is talking about.
Without using specific numbers, leaders say Baltimore County is footing the bill, which Hur alluded to being in the millions. A team pulled from 18 agencies, including local law enforcement, the DEA, and even the FBI, will all be housed in one space. Blended teams to better bust up drug rings and gangs. A strong effort, Hur says, to stop the violent trend that's plagued the city.
I know it keeps me up at night trying to figure out how are we going to get these numbers under control, how are we going to bring safety to our neighborhoods in the Baltimore region. In terms of
Now, Hur didn't give us a timeline as to when all of these agencies or for this strike force are going to actually be in a brick and mortar building. He also didn't give a measurable as far as what's success for this strike force, only saying that he wants to reduce violent crime in and around Baltimore City altogether. As I mentioned in the piece, Baltimore County is footing this bill. They will be reimbursed federally for their commitment. And this task force has already started working. Just in the last 2 months, they've already busted up 2 drug trafficking organizations already. Reporting here in Baltimore, I'm Skylar Henry, WMAR 2 News.